Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Superman Legacy leaks. Now, interestingly, yes, these are over on Reddit. The independent Reddit moderators have corroborated a significant amount of this information, so it's important to note that they believe there's an air of legitimacy to this. Now, everyone hears the term Reddit for a source and they go, terrible, disregard it. It's also important to note Marvel they tried to subpoena Reddit and Google to get some information about who was leaking their films over on Reddit. So always, take it with a pinch of salt, I guess, but Reddit has become a significant playground for these leaks, and a lot of them are right. So it's important to note that when you start to hear these things. Hit subscribe if you're new here. We'll dive into this today. This is interesting because obviously yesterday I did that video about Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, and basically James Gunn's sort of DC, being a mess, being a shambles. And this is somewhat positive, but it still makes you question why exactly certain things were done previously. So take all of this with a pinch of salt. It's rumour, but I'm inclined to believe a lot of this stuff. So let's take a look, shall we, ladies and gents? So this is all over on Reddit, like I said. So the Superman Legacy leaks. Also, are you looking forward to Superman Legacy? Because Superman, great character, not been handled very well lately. And I think a lot of people are really put off with the fact that they binned off Henry Cavill. So I ask you that question with sincerity. Are you looking forward to Superman Legacy? I don't know. The leaks come from Reddit user Who Likes Animations, who claims to have seen Superman Legacy concept art. So he posted on there and said, I've seen and personally worked on some concept art since we last spoke, of which I've seen include the following. And we'll get into what it is. So the first one is actually all about Jor-El. So Jor-El concept art. Apparently there's mention of Kurt Russell. Yeah. So Jor-El, he's drawn as being tall, and I mean really tall, like above 7 feet at least. His costume is sort of a mix between armour and fabric, with the armour bits being like a baby blue and the fabric being a crystally white. He has a blue House of El crest on his chest, which glows, kind of like an LED. And here's the fun part. Take this with a grain of salt, as a ton of concept art uses random actors' faces on characters, but the specific art I've seen features Kurt Russell's face on Jor-El, which would be great casting, in my honest opinion. So let's break that down, right? Jor-El, the leader of House of El, father of Kal-El, above 7 feet. I like that idea, That's if they're casting. I mean, I don't know how tall David Corn Sweat is. If they're casting someone, I don't know, 6 feet or something like that, 6 feet or more. Having the father, an alien, obviously, be 7 feet, I think that works. I think that's quite cool, actually. It adds another dimension to Kryptonians being taller, physical prowess, that type of thing. So I quite like that, genuinely. I actually do like the sound of that. Kurt Russell as Jor-El. That's not bad casting, guys. In my honest opinion. I actually quite like that as a casting. Now, it's not confirmed that he is going to be cast. That's just, in concept art, they do just whack rando faces on. They sort of nail it down a little bit closer to the time, obviously. But there is a lot of actors' faces being just swapped onto stuff because they go for the casting call might be a Kurt Russell type, if you catch my drift. So they're looking for someone who is that but isn't that. So I don't hate that I don't hate any of that. I think that all sounds actually quite okay. 7 feet especially I think is quite good. Aliens, etc. It adds another dimension to the character. I think that's quite good. That's a way to differentiate itself at the very least. So let me know what you think of that. Now, what's the other one? Well, Brainiac. Brainiac is someone that's come up many times in rumours and rumblings with respect to Superman Legacy. I I like the villain of Brainiac. I think Brainiac's a great villain, actually. Absolutely fantastic. If done right, would be incredible. I don't know, however, whether James Gunn is the right man to do Brainiac. Right? That's the thing to kind of take into account here. Is he the right man to play Brainiac? Or, well, not play Brainiac, but cast him, write him, direct him. I'm going to say no, but that's, it's personal. Well, it's just personal thoughts, isn't it, really? Some people would like him, some people wouldn't to do Brainiac. But here we have it. So there's apparently Brainiac concept art, Brainiac drone concept art. But again, that's been long rumoured that he would appear. So the Redditor says, oh, here's a fun one. I've seen concept art for what appears to be a Brainiac drone. Now, this doesn't outright confirm that Brainiac is in the movie, but he at least has some sort of presence. The drone's appearance is nothing of note, just a generic grey robot with green highlights. The reason I'm led to believe it's a Brainiac drone is because it features Brainiac's signature headpiece thing on its forehead. So yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know. A Brainiac drone, that's obviously sequel fodder. It's, well, we want to make another one, so I'll just tease this. Here you go. Come on. Come have a look at this, guys. There's Brainiac. He's going to be in the next one, so definitely make this one a success. That's kind of what that says, doesn't it? Which, yeah, again, I just don't want the new DC to become adverts for the next movies. Every single film just becomes an advert for the next one. That is frustrating. I don't like those kind of films. They annoy me. And apparently nothing of note anyway, so it's not really that interesting, not that compelling. But it's interesting, I guess, in the respect that seemingly is the route that they're going down, trying to tease out more and more movies further down the line. So, what's the other stuff? Well, apparently this chap, Skylar Gisondo, is cast as Jimmy Olsen. So, for Jimmy Olsen, the Redditor claims actor Skylar Gisondo, I don't know how to say that, is being used for the concept art, suggesting that Skylar has actually been cast in the role. So, Jimmy Olsen, basically the same as I've said before, but now interestingly with Skylar Gizondo's face added into the art. Like I said, we use actors' likenesses for a ton of concept work, but I'm inclined to believe that Skylar is actually Jimmy here due to everything we've heard. So, there you go. Kurt Russell, not claimed to be cast at this point, but this Skylar person claimed to be cast at this point in time. Kind of looks like Jimmy Olsen, I guess, doesn't it, really? To a degree, maybe. What do you think? Jimmy Olsen or not? So, Superman suit concept art. Well, here we go. There's been concept art done for most Superman suits. Fleischer, Rebirth, The Classic, etc. Gunn really just wants to find the perfect suit to use for the movie. There is concept art of Superman both with and without trunks, and I'm assuming the decision of whether he'll have trunks or not will be dependent on how it looks in the actual costume test. Interesting, because didn't James Gunn post a poll over on Twitter saying no trunks or trunks? So that's interesting, and I'm pretty certain he out and out stated that he would have trunks, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. Let me know. Pretty certain he did, which will be interesting if he goes back on that. So this is the interesting part, right? So the mods of DCEU leaks also feel pretty confident in the Reddit users' post, because they say, note, after independently corroborating details with this user, the mod team feels more confident in this source's quality. However, due to the limited scope of their claims so far, none have been officially confirmed yet. But it does seem like they've independently verified at least some of it. Some of it sounds very, very legit, but nothing's confirmed. So what do we think? Superman Legacy, the leaks. This is that David Cornsweet. Cornsweet? David Cornsweet. Interesting. Interesting casting. I think the Jimmy Olsen's probably the most reassuring one there. Definitely looks like Jimmy Olsen. Again, Jimmy Olsen type anyway, isn't it, really? Kurt Russell, would you like him? 7 feet tall. A 7 foot tall Kurt Russell in a white and blue armour. Interesting. I don't hate the ideas. It makes sense as well. James Gunn has worked with Kurt Russell before, obviously in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He played Ego the Planet, right? So it could be that Kurt Russell is cast. It could be. And would that make you more confident in the film? You know, James Gunn comes out with heavy hitters in Hollywood. Kurt Russell's a fan favourite. So it would go some way, I think, to getting naysayers on board having someone like Kurt Russell. But anyway, look, this is new to me. Appreciate this is only from September 30th, but this is new to me. I hadn't checked this out before. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. Hit subscribe if you're new here. But cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.